So today we are going to learn more about this delegation event model. There are main three things in this delegation event model. You have to define event, then you have to define the source, and you have to define the listener. So textbook definition you will have to write if asked for 5 marks. There are certain things which I have added extra here, particularly for those students who want to score not who don't want to lose any marks. So for other students this information may appear little complicated and extra, so you can skip. But so I have highlighted it, or you can say, to make you understand, I have changed the font there wherever it is not so important. Fine, but you can expect 1 or 2 marks question from that also. Rare, but still, yeah. So yesterday, a quick recap of what we covered yesterday. We have in fact revised certain concepts like event and then event source. Yesterday I told you about uh, how source should first get registered with the listener to be able to uh, generate the event handler. So actually it is not the source who handles the event. Source actually generates the event, fires the event, and then once the event is fired, because the source is registered with the listener will be able to listen to that event. And once the listener comes to know that there is an event, then listener is the one who is actually responsible for handling the event or executing the code in response to the event. So the first step, that is source should get registered with the listener. Yesterday I've given you the syntax. Public void add a type listener, wherein public is a access specifier, void is a return type. Both are optional. What you have to use is this part. Add type indicates what type of listener you want to register with. So that listener name you have to add there. Which listeners are available with us, that we will see in the next section. So this syntax we have discussed yesterday. In bracket you have to write the listener name and a reference you have to mention there. That reference we will be using inside the code. Okay, the example here we have given, keyboard events are handled by key listener. So if the source wants uh, to register with the key listener, the source has to use this method, add key listener. Similarly, if you want to respond to the mouse motion events, there are two sets of events which are related to mouse. One is only mouse listener is there, which is responsible for mouse click, mouse double click, mouse drag, etc. But uh, there are specialized, you can say there is a specialized listener called as mouse motion listener, which is particularly responsible for mouse movements. Fine. We also have a program in the next section, so that time you will understand the difference. Anyway, so let's see the extra part which I have written here. The source, as it provides a method to get registered with the listener. Similarly, source must provide a method that should, that allows to get unregistered with the listener. Like source, suppose if it doesn't want to continue that pairing with a listener, then it can break that pairing by calling this method, which is that method which is similar to this add. Instead of add, you will be using remove. Remove type listener. An example here is remove key listener. See, here I have given it in the notes. So this is how you will be using. Rarely used, actually in most of the programs you will be registering. Unregistering hardly occurs, but just in case. So they may ask you for 2 marks. How can a source get unregistered with the listener? So which is a method? Remove type listener. An example is remove key listener, remove mouse listener, etc. Fine. And since Java is case sensitive, you have to also be very, very particular about the cases when you use methods. You know that the general convention followed in Java is the method names always start with small case, but when the method name is a combined word of multiple subwords. Like here you can see add, mouse, motion, listener. So there are four words. Add is one word, mouse is one word, motion is there, and listener is there. So normally method names are written without space, isn't it? So when you write method names and when the name contains subwords like this, small terms, in that case, the first term will start with small case, but the other remaining terms first letter will begin with uppercase. That we have already seen in our last semester. We are used to that syntax, but still, I just thought of revising it. Okay, now one more next point here, which is not so important, but they may ask for 2 marks. There is one term called as multicasting. What do you mean by multicasting? Here, one point you have to remember that a source simultaneously may register with multiple listener. I can give you example. It is something like suppose for safety measure. Um, okay, there are cameras set in our classroom. So there could be multiple cameras, isn't it? So one camera might be connected to HOD's cabin and another camera might be connected to principal's cabin. This is for additional safety, fine, or additional protection. So what happens when some incident happens in the classroom? You can keep track from the recordings of both the cameras. One recording might have been preserved at HOD's cabin and another might be at principal's cabin. So similarly here, even the source, when the event occurs, if the source wants that multiple listeners should be able to listen to that event, and they will have their own response, not necessary that both those listeners will respond to the event in the same way. They might have their own response. So in that case, a source can register with multiple listeners. That provision is there. We have not seen that in our program to avoid complication, but that provision is there that you can get registered with multiple listeners. So this process, that when the event occurs and if you are registered with multiple listeners, all the registered listeners will be notified that the source has fired the event. This process is called as multicasting the event. What do you mean by multiple casting means there are multiple listeners who are what you can say, enacting their role here in event handling. So that process is called as multicasting. So you may expect a question like this: what is multicasting? Multicasting is a process when the source is registered with multiple listeners, and when the event occurs at the source, what happens? All the registered listeners will get notified. This process is called as multicasting. So in contradiction to that, there is a term called as unicasting. So you can guess here, what is unicasting indicate? Unicasting indicate we are not allowing multiple listeners to respond. We want only one listener to respond. So how is that? How can you control that? So there is a syntax given here. Uh, some sources may allow only one listener to get registered, even if now by chance or by mistake, if the programmer himself, okay, suppose he has already registered with another listener and he doesn't remember, and then he tries to get registered with another listener, then to avoid that, the programmer he himself initially can write this line called a throws Java util too many listener exception. That means what will happen when the programmer will try to get registered with multiple listeners, that means the second listener, that time Java's compiler will automatically throw an exception called as too many listeners. Uh, and like this it will restrict only one listener to get registered with a particular source at a time. So when event occurs, only one registered listener is notified. This is known as unicasting. So I hope you understood the terms. Okay, so let's go ahead with the next important point, that is called as listener. So we have discussed so much about listener. Let us see the official definition of event listener. This may be separately asked for 2 marks. So the definition goes like this. A listener is an object that is notified when an event occurs. In Java, as you all know, that everything is in the form of object. So when you know that everything is in the form of object, that means the class already exists, which defines the properties and behavior of that object. Same like if you can take the example, if you talk about a student studying at Gokte BCA, when the student is studying at Gokte BCA, that automatically indicates that there is a BCA course which is running at the Gokte College, and then in that BCA course there are divisions, and the classes are already going on, and the classes, that stream is prepared, every setting has been done, timetable is um, been done, the course is designed properly and it is implemented. Without actually starting the course, you can't take admission for a student, isn't it? Existence of the students indicates the existence of the college also, isn't it? It is obvious. Similarly here, when you say that a listener is an object, when the object exists, obviously there exists a class, built-in class. So that you should keep it in mind. Okay, so let us repeat a definition here. A listener is an object that is notified when an event occurs. So till it gets notified, listener's job is nothing. It will just keep quiet. Only when the event occurs, it will be notified, and then the job of listener starts. Fine. Uh, it is also known as event handler. Why event handler? Because it is the one who handles the event. When the event occurs, source job is it will just notify the listener, and then further job will be taken up by the listener. So listener is responsible for generating response to an event. What should happen when the event occurs? What are the examples of event? Okay, answer through chat because I have disabled your mics. Give the example of event, anybody? Moving a mouse. Very good. So when I move a mouse, now just now I clicked on the chat box to be able to see your responses. So when I clicked on the chat box opened. So opening of the chat box is itself the response of my event or my action, that is click. So when I clicked, it is showing me. So suppose now somebody has written here scrolling a page. Yes, very good. To be able to see previous or next responses, I should scroll through this chat box. So the moment I'm scrolling, I'm able to see. Scrolling in the sense I'm just moving a mouse through the scroll bar. So automatically the computer will understand that since I'm moving a mouse on the scroll bar, that means I want to move the page. I want to see the bottom and top part of the page, and it will automatically do that. Everything is programmed. So this is called as event handler. Okay. Anyway, so why did I ask that question? Because in between I just wanted to bring you on track. So where were we? I was just telling you about a listener who is responsible for generating response to an event. So there is a listener here also for my every action here, for mouse click, mouse movement, uh, for mouse dragging. Dragging is press and drag. So for my every action, there is a listener. So my this word page is been registered with all these listener. That's why you are able to see the response. So listener waits until it receives an event. Once the event is received, the listener processes the event and then returns. Again, it goes and keeps quiet. Listener has two major requirements. To be able to function, listener should have two requirements prior. So what is that? It must have been registered with one or more sources to receive notifications about specific type of events. So uh, a listener should get registered with a particular source. So here also on my page, there are multiple sources. This button is one source, this page itself is one source, then Here you can see this toolbar is there. This itself is one source. Zoom toolbar. I don't know whether you are able to see that. But I have a toolbar here which shows me participants, then it allows me to use annotations. So even all these are sources. Why sources? Because they can generate events once I make some action with those. Clear? Anyways, so first of all, a listener have should have been registered with the sources before the event occurs. Second, only registering is not sufficient. It should implement methods to receive and process these notifications. Implement word here indicates that the methods are there and these methods are abstract methods. Now, here we are using the term which we have learned in the last semester, abstract method. Does anyone remember what is abstract method? Again, answer through chat. What is abstract method? Without body. Very good, Akash. So the method which has only the name or the definition but doesn't have a body. Such methods will be defined in the abstract class or interface. There are some ready-made classes which will define only the method. But what should be written in the method? It depends on the subclasses. So here, listener is similar to that. Fine. So listener will have some specific methods associated with that. And then whenever we get registered with the listener, additionally, there is a requirement that we should be implementing the methods which are associated with the listeners. And those methods, the code what you write in those methods, only that code will get executed in response to the events. That means what should happen when the event occurs. If you want to write that code, you can't write anywhere. You should have written in those specific methods only. So with every listener, there are specific methods. And you should write the code in those methods only. Like, let us take the example of yesterday's program, which I was telling you. Just a minute, I'll open that program here. Okay. So Java applet program, yesterday we had seen the example of applet which is used to add two numbers. This program we had studied in our last semester. So for those students who couldn't attend yesterday's class, so just a quick recap, here we have two text fields defined in our program, and then the user will enter two numbers in those text fields, and then there is a button called as add. The moment user, after entering the numbers, if he clicks on this add button, what will happen? What action takes place? The numbers which are provided in the text boxes get added and the result will be displayed here in the down, okay, in the third text field which is provided at the bottom of this applet page. Clear? So this action, what is that action which is happening in response to the click event? When the user will click on the add button, what should happen? It is adding the two numbers which are provided in the text fields, and then it is displaying that addition in the third text. Now, where we have written this code, can we write the code anywhere in the program? No, we should write that code in the specific method only. Now, which is that specific method? Last time I could not explain you exactly which method is associated with which all listeners. We have seen only one listener and only one method which is associated with that. Mostly last time we have seen the programs which are associated with button click event. So for button click event, we have to get registered with the action listener. So for click event, which listener is responsible? Action listener. So first thing, you should implement action listener. That means the program which wants to use this listener, first of all, it should implement action listener. Remember now, All these listeners are nothing but technically they are the interfaces. What are these listeners actually? These are the interfaces which are defined in Java library. Now, can anyone tell what is an interface? Short answer through only final and static keywords are used. Okay, that is there. And one more. What about methods? Final and static variables, not keywords, Shraddha. Yeah, Sai Prasad, correct. Contains only abstract methods and final variables. Very good. Final and static variables. So, interfaces are the special classes which contain only abstract methods and final variables. So there are such many interfaces which are defined in Java's library. Okay, they are used for various functionalities. Now here one such functionality we will be using. What is that now here? Listeners. All the listeners are nothing but the interfaces which are defined in Java's library. So whenever we want to use these interfaces from the Java's library, first of all, we have to import those packages wherein these are defined. So all these listeners are defined in the event package, which is defined in java.awt. Okay. So when we import that, then second thing, after importing, because we want to use that interface, using the interface means we have to inherit those interfaces. And for normal inheritance, we use the keyword extends. But when we want to inherit interfaces, which keyword do we use? When we want to inherit the interfaces, which keyword do we use? Answer through chat again. No, Super Omkar, it is wrong. Implements. Very good. Akash, correct. So implements is the word which we use when we inherit a particular interface. So what is the name of my class here? Sum app 2 is the class which I am creating here. Now that sum app 2, it is also extending applet class. That means it is inheriting applet class. Here we are using the word extends. Why? Because applet is a class. What is applet here? It is a class. So when we want to inherit a class, we make use of the word extends. But when we want to inherit an interface, which is the interface here, action listener is the interface. When we want to inherit the interface or use the interface, we make use of the word called as implements. Okay, so here I am using the listener, I'm inheriting the listener using implements. Only when I have my program has implemented a particular listener, I'll be able to register with that. Now, which component of this applet is getting registered with the listener? The source should get registered with the listener, isn't it? Which is a source here which is giving rise to an event? Button. Fine. When the action, that is click action, I'm going to make on the button, isn't it? And then I will expect the result there after I click on a button. So button becomes a source of the event here. So since button is a source and it has to respond to the click event, so it must get registered with the listener. Which is the listener which responds to the click event? It is the action listener. Okay, some of the students may be finding it difficult to remember so many concepts. Slowly, as and when you will, cover many programs and many examples, you will get used to these terms. Okay, now what I am telling you here, I am telling you about the click event. Remember when we talk about click event, you should remember suddenly action listener. Okay, so that link should get created in your brains. If not in brain, right now you can just scribble on your books. I have told you to keep book beside you. So please make a note. When it comes to click event, which listener? Action listener. Okay. So you should get registered with the action listener. How do we get registered? Okay. The source should get registered. Who is the source here? Button. Now button has, button is a class. The object of that button class is the source, isn't it? So what is that object we have created here? B1. So that B1, okay, should get registered. Now I'm highlighting the line. I hope you can see. Raise your hand if you can see the highlight which I'm doing through my mouse. Yes. Very good. So my button here is getting registered with the listener, that is add action listener. Okay. What is that this that you forget now? Right now, again it will be complicated. So right now just remember that button is getting registered with the listener. So my first requirement is satisfied here. What is that? First requirement of the listener should get registered. This is the first requirement. Second requirement, that it should implement the appropriate method. Implementing a method means providing a body to the abstract method. Abstract method will not have a body, it has only the name. So implementing that method indicates providing a body to that. That means writing a code to that event. So when I register with action listener, there is a method which must be implemented. Which is that method which must be implemented? The method name is action performed. Okay, now you have to make a note in your book like this. Okay, there should be, uh, you should scribble like this. Okay, if you want to remember the connection, I'll show you with the notations. Okay, so you should write like this. Which is a event? Click event. So when you come across click event, which is a listener, which is a listener related to click event, answer through chat. Action listener. Okay, write in complete word, not only action. So action listener. Since it is listener is similar to class, it should always start with a uppercase. Action, listener, action listener, A and L uppercase. Now, okay, once you remember the listener, you should also remember the abstract method which should be implemented. Which is that method which is associated with this action listener? It is action performed. So this is how you should remember. Since it's a method, it should be postfix with open and close bracket. Okay. So when we talk about click event, remember we must implement, we should inherit this action listener interface. Then we should get registered with this action listener using the method add action listener. And then we should we should override which method? Action perform. That means the code which I want to get executed in response to my click event should be written inside this method called as add action perform. Okay, sorry. So what is that code I have written here? I have declared two variables n1 and n2 which are fetching the text from the text field. So first text box my whatever user types that I will take, I will store it in n1. Similarly, I take from t2, I store it in n2. Then I calculate their sum and store it in the variable called as sum. Once I have the sum, I don't keep it with me. I just display it in the third text box. And then I call a method called as repaint, which will in turn call a paint method. Fine. So this is how what I want to executed in response to that click event. Once the user clicks on the add button, all these actions should happen, right? It should fetch the numbers, it should add, and it should display it in the third text field. So this is how I implement this method called as action perform. This is required. See, if I only if I only register with the listener, but if I don't write the code, will it be able to respond? Fine. So this registering will only establish the connection. After that connection is established, there should be some action which should take place. And those lines which indicate the action that should happen in response to the event, that we should be writing in the method called as action perform. Clear? I hope it is clear to you. Now you people, okay, let me come back to my notes here. Let me finish these 2 points. So listeners have 2 requirements. One is it should get registered. Second, it must implement. Here the implement word indicates providing a body or overriding those abstract methods. Clear? The methods that receive and process events are defined in a set of interfaces. I told you. Now these interfaces are nothing but these are listeners. So I'll just write here in bracket. Now where these listeners are defined in which library, in which package? java.awt.event package. So remember the program, whenever you want to write a program which should respond to the events, you must import this package java.awt.event package. Fine. So we have seen action listener defines one method called as action performed. Similarly, there is a listener called as mouse motion listener. It defines 2 methods. One method for mouse drag event, another method for mouse move. Okay. What are the names of these methods? That we will see in the next class. Fine. We are going a bit slow, but I think this is required. Okay. I tried to switch to the program and explain you through the program. Okay. If anyone has a doubt, now last 5 minutes are remaining, you can ask through chat. Or I will just enable your mic here. Okay. Whoever wants to ask question, you can unmute and you can ask. Any doubt here?
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, in the program that what is action event E that is enclosed in braces.
Yeah. That is a syntax. Whenever you write these methods, abstract methods, they always require the reference of that event class. Now, what are those event classes we have not studied still now? Tomorrow, we will be starting with that event class. So remember that every method, such abstract method, requires the reference of appropriate event class. Again, one more
Yes, ma'am.
link. So far, we have linked only the event, then we have linked the listener, we have linked the method, isn't it? Tomorrow, we'll be linking appropriate event class also to that. Fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, very good question. Anyone else? Everybody understood? Yeah, CRs of both the classes, just inform your classmates that yesterday's video have been uploaded and even this video of today's class I'll be uploading.
Yes, ma'am.
The repetition of this class I'll see somehow. Let's see, like I'm little okay. Let me complete the recording and then discuss these things.